Good morning from the office. I am BKP. You're watching or listening to North Georgia's only live online morning show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. This morning, as you leave the house, it's 61 degrees. The high today will be 68. Very little change in the temperature. It'll get as high as 68. But the midday winds will be as high as 19 miles an hour. So be careful out there as you're driving, and also, no texting and driving. I know what you're saying, but there's no such thing as a safe time to text and drive. But of all days, if you're trying to text and all of a sudden the car gets jerked, the steering wheel out of your hand, there's no such time as safe texting. But please do not text and drive. High winds just add to the danger. Okay, what I said maybe makes no sense at all, but I had to say it. High winds today at 19 miles an hour. Starting this afternoon, expect heavy rain. So there'll be heavy rain this afternoon. Dangerous kind of storms coming through our area. So leave the house prepared for a tough afternoon with rain and high winds. So this Wednesday morning on 11/18, I've been telling you, your host, BKP, I had coffee with a liberal. Now, let me pull up old Nine Wolf Wolf. When's the last time we seen Nine Wolf Wolf come about? I got crying, drinking music. I'm okay, George Strait. But I'm at 7:34 this morning, and I've got crying, drinking music on there. If you get up this morning and hey, watch this show. Bring your crying, drinking rear end to this show, and we'll give you some music to watch it by. Nine Wolf Wolf, is he on the screen? All right, that is Nine Wolf Wolf if you're checking him out. That is Fetcher News. He is on the trail, old Nine Wolf Wolf is. And what we want you to do is let us know here at FetcherNews.com if you have lost your pet, if Petunia has left the backyard, if Gilmer, your hound dog, your basset hound, is roaming all over the place and he can't see anymore because he's 15 years old and you can't find him, you get in touch with FetcherNews.com. If you have found a pet, someone's lovable pet, and you want to get it back to its owner, let us know at FetcherNews.com. That's who Nine Wolf Wolf is. On another note, yesterday, I'm going to talk about it a little more later in the show, but yesterday we were not able to do our financial facts with John White from Financial Guidepost at 8:15 as we normally do. We're not able to do that due to some broadcast issues. So please check out Financial Facts with John White from Financial Guideposts on FetcherNews.com, anywhere under the business section, and also check out his in times like this, you need somebody you can trust with your money. And I'm telling you, you need to call John White and sit down with him and let him advise you on some things financially at this time. It's a scary time out there in a lot of ways. I've seen the increased purchases of gold, but, sometimes reaction needs to be calm, methodical, and that's John White. Financial Guidepost. We'll talk about that a little later in the show. Hey, Lonnie, now we're talking about Gilmer County, FetcherNews.com. Have you guys out there seen the Georgia Milestones testing scores? The Georgia Department of Education has released the results of the first ever Georgia Milestone test for individual districts and schools. And as predicted, the scores are not good for anyone. The test replaced the much maligned, hated. Just say hated. Hated. Okay. Referenced competency test, the CRCT. There you go, or CRCT is known for younger students, and the Georgia graduation test of high school students. Lonnie, can you make heads or tails of this, and can you explain it a little bit? Lonnie went over and got Gilmer's scores yesterday. Lonnie, and you have this article ready to go on FetcherNews.com?
Yeah, I'm getting everything uploaded and posted, but the big thing, and there's a couple takeaways from this, as you know, just like the rest of the state of Georgia, our test scores plummeted basically in some areas. Some areas were slight dips. 20 points. I call that a slight dip compared to some of the other ones. Some of them were 10 or 15 point dips, and that's it. And then on the flip side of that, I do have to say, there were some areas where we went from 90% proficient to 30 or 25% proficient. So there are those big gaps. Now, a lot of people are freaking out, and this is across the state. This is not just Gilmer, but a lot of people are really worried about seeing these test scores. And I want to walk you through a few things that I have on it. The first of which being that this replaced, like you said, the EOCT, which is the end of course test for high schoolers, and the CRCT, the Criterion Referenced Competency Test, which those have been, as you said, maligned for years, not very appreciated. But when you go through these tests, and I've got all the results, I've got documents from the state saying the purpose of the test. The first thing I want to tell you is that this test, we just got these results back. These things came out last week. This week, they're on the rollout. And as you can tell, these tests, or end of course tests and everything, should have been back at least before we started the next school year. Because when you're doing end of course tests, you have to know if you pass those tests to move on to the next level. At the CRCTs, at the end of a grade level, this is what people and school systems across Georgia, this is what they look to gauge advancement to the next grade level or retention into the same grade level to repeat. And these it's November and we're just getting
wait a minute, let me ask you a question. So last year when I was looking on the calendar, last school year, and all the schools were milestone testing on the calendar, just was a whole week of testing.
Yeah.
These are the results from then?
This is the results from spring. The last school year, so it would be
right. Last school year. What took so long to get these test results?
It's the first test. A lot of the people I asked were asking the same questions of the state. Is what took so long? What's the deal? What's the problem? But that's one of the big issues that a lot of people have, and they're wanting to know why we're just now getting these results. And because it took so long, another thing for people out there to notice is that the State Department, the Georgia Department of Education, has already declared, it's an interesting phrase called hold harmless. Now what that means for
Wait, tell me that again. Can you say that 3 times fast?
Hold harmless.
Okay.
That's a little more difficult than the assumption.
We're talking, this is important. We're talking in Gilmer County, we have the test results. This is important all the way across the board. We're going to stay on this. Let me interrupt you just for a minute, and then you can take back over. I have pulled up, now last year, and here's what I want to know, Milestone's assessment system. Now, there were several parents. If you're a parent out there and you held your kid out of this testing, there's several out there that held their kids out of this testing. I'd like to hear from you. Put that on the internet, Lonnie, ASAP on Facebook. All the Facebook pages, tweet it out, tumble it out, Pinterest it out, yik yak it, whatever you do most, okay? Yik yak it now. Anyhow, if you're out there and you withheld your children from this testing, get in touch with us. We'd like to know, because there was a lot of controversy on this testing. Now, I'm going to give this back to Lonnie in a minute, but what is Georgia Milestone Assessment System? Beginning in the 2014-2015 school year. So you remember that week last week where you were encouraged to make sure your children had a good breakfast before they left for school, or at least the government would give them a good breakfast when they got to school, one or the other. You remember that? And get plenty of rest and all the above, because it was testing week, milestone testing. Beginning in 2014 and 2015 school year, the Georgia Department of Education will use a new testing system to replace the end of course test. The competency, CRCT testing. Okay, a lot of people know CRCT testing. The new testing system developed by the state of Georgia is named the Georgia Milestone Assessment System. Georgia Milestones. The Georgia Milestones will be aligned to the state's Common Core Georgia Performance Standards to better prepare students for college and career. So, unless I'm wrong, let me read this sentence again and then Lonnie can have the floor. The Georgia milestones will be aligned to the state's Common Core Georgia Performance Standards to better prepare students for college and career. Now, you're not hearing that too much in places, but this is directly related to Common Core and the new standards. Now, what is going to happen? You have private schools, parochial schools, whatever you want to call these schools, all the above, that are not following Common Core standards, and they can't take Georgia Milestone Assessment, and they're getting ready to turn this into prepare students for college. You need to listen. If you're not following these guidelines that they have laid out, your student is not going to be prepared for college and soon will not be accepted. Those are my words as your host here. Lonnie, take back over. Get this away from me because I could get wound up about it.
Well, I mean, this is something that a lot of people are getting wound up about. This is something that I'm hearing a lot of backlash on, of comments, of people who are unhappy with the way it's going. And I'm not just talking parents, I'm not just talking students, but I'm talking educators, teachers, administrators, people who don't like. And one of the comments I've heard, and one of the comments that I've heard from people in the street and people I've talked to is you know, it basically comes down to you can't tell me that people who scored 90%, 95% last year scored 30% this year. There is no, that's one of the comments I've gotten from people is that you can't tell me that a 60% swing came from just a difference in education.
Lonnie, you said this the other day. We're going to adopt this morning, okay? We're going to make this the official. This is the official Fetcher News statement. The other day we were doing something, we were discussing math, and you said something to the reference where we were going to use the math that got us back and forth to the moon.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Right.
You said that. That's you. So I want you to know, and all of our viewers and listeners to know, that you have actually made that the official statement of FetcherNews.com. We are always going to use the math that got us back and forth to the moon. Okay, there you go, Lonnie. So
no, there is one other thing.
What is some of the things in serious note? The state, how much outrage. Lonnie, stay on this. Don't let go of this. I'm going to be your worst nightmare. In fact, I was yesterday, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Let me look at
Pickens, Gilmer, Fannin. Just start do the open records request for every one of them ASAP.
Now, one thing I did want to share, and this is in the article.
Now, I did it on purpose. This might be mean. I had a meeting with a superintendent of schools yesterday, and I met with this individual for about 30 minutes, if not more. And the whole entire time I was there, I think the individual was waiting for me to ask about this, and I didn't. And that was that might be mean, but it was intentional because I wanted them. The nice guy we'll talk about later. Go ahead, Lonnie.
Well, you get past, and there's 5 pages of results that you can go through. You see grades 4 and 5, all the way up to high school, kindergarten all the way up to high school. But if you focus on one thing, and this is one of the things that I noticed and was pointed out to me, is that if you look at our graduation rate, and this is part of the Board of Education met last night. They did a lot of self-assessments. They did a lot of strategic planning, and they talked about these results, and they talked about plans for the future on how to improve. But if you look at our graduation rate for 4-year cohorts in high school. Now, what's that mean? A 4-year cohort is basically the number of students who graduate in 4 years with a regular high school diploma, divided by the number of students. This is the definition I found online. Divided by the number of students who form the adjusted cohort for the graduating class. So basically, it boils down to what percentage of the total class went all 4 years and graduated with a high school diploma. Now, last year, or you look over the last few years, it's right around the 80%, 80, 79.9, 82.2. But if you look at last year's, 2014, 2015, we had a 91% graduating class.
In Gilmer.
In Gilmer.
In Gilmer County.
In Gilmer County.
And I think it was 92. I think we have a report on FetcherNews.com that Kim Foster wrote of about 92 in Fannin.
It's 91.48, so you say roughly 92%. Right. So a 92% graduate. So you can look at the milestones results that say we had a drop in proficiency. I'll just pick one at random. With where am I looking at? Okay. You can look and say that we had a 60% drop in 9th grade literature proficiency, down from 90 to 30%. You can look at that, and you can look at a 60% down to 30, 80% down to 40. You can look at all these, or you can look at the hard facts and say we had 92% of our kids graduate with a 4-year diploma.
I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not that smart. We're talking about high school diplomas. You just look. I'm not that bright. What are you saying? The testing is what, and the what's the parallel?
The parallel
what is the
that you look at
the takeaway. We always love the takeaway. What's the takeaway on
the bottom line?
No, the takeaway. What's the takeaway in this conversation?
The takeaway, and again, I've got to do more research. I've got to look deeper into this, but I just think with the graduation test, the state graduation test, and all this going on, we have a 92% graduation class. 2% of our class passed and graduated. But they're telling me at the same time that those same people, according to the state regulations, are only 30%.
Right, I understand
available.
what you're saying. What is the Georgia Milestone Assessment System? One more time. Last year, when you were out there and your children and you looked at the calendar and the entire week was set aside for milestone assessment testing, some of you kept your kids out of school. Some of your kids did not allow, some of your parents did not allow your kids to take the testing and be a part of it. We'd like to know from you. We'd like to hear your comments. Lonnie is going to be putting that on Facebook, all the pages, tweeting it out during the break. Let us know. We want to hear from you. Call us, 706-889-9700. Tell us what you think, because this is milestone testing, and I'll tell you, this comes from Talk Atlanta Public Schools Making a Difference. This is from Atlanta Public Schools. What is Georgia Milestone Assessment System? Beginning in the 2014-2015 school year, the Georgia Department of Education will use the new testing system to replace the end-of-course test. Also, you have your CRCT, it replaced that. The new testing system, developed by the state of Georgia, is named the Georgia Milestone Assessment System. Okay? The Georgia Milestone will be aligned to the state's Common Core Georgia Performance Standards to better prepare students for college and career. So Lonnie has that. You got your article to hit publish on?
Yeah.
He's going to hit publish. Lonnie's going to interview people. Lonnie doesn't know this. Lonnie's hearing this for the first time. That's why I got to catch him off guard here. Okay. Lonnie's going to call school superintendents and see if they will come on the show and talk to us about it. He's going to try to set up interviews with them on this show with school superintendents. Yeah, he's finding this out now. He's going to stay all over this because Lonnie does a great job on Board of Education, and he keeps up with that. Now, we want to remain positive. We always tell you in your local Board of Education, your local superintendent of schools, and your local teachers, please stay positive with them. Don't be negative with them, and don't get upset with them. This is coming down from the big guys. This is coming down from the state. This is coming down from the government. And last but not least, obviously this has a whole lot of money tied to it. So don't run and blame your teacher on your students, your little child's test score. Don't blame your teacher. Don't blame your principal, and don't blame your superintendent of schools. And I hate to say the word blame, but if there's any blame, this is coming down from above, Common Core. This is coming down with the best interest of not your child. That's my words. My words. It's the best interest of the money. So show me the money again. Okay,
And
Lonnie, what else you got there? I want to take a quick break, but go ahead.
The one thing I want to say about that is you also have to look at this, and you talk about the teachers in the school systems. These guys have been teaching CRCT and EOCT prep for 10, through
Yeah,
all
Lonnie,
these-
but we train them. I mean, what more could they ask? We send them to training, Lonnie. I know. I'm being a little, facetious here. I'm being, I'm sorry, but I come down on the side of our teachers. That's just me. I just do. I come down on the side of our teachers. Hey, they're like everybody else. There's, I come down on the majority of the side of our teachers. FetcherNews.com, Gilmer County. You go there today, you can find the Gilmer Emergency and Fire Report. We always post that in Gilmer County. You can find the arrest records. You can check it out at the library. We want to say thank you to the Gilmer County Library. You can always go to FetcherNews.com and check it out at the library. Gilmer Boys and Girls Club announcement. The newsletter is always there for you. And Governor Deal's executive order will not accept Syrian refugees. We'll talk about that more. Lonnie, tell the folks about the 1907 restaurant and bar and the celebrity chef. You got that pulled up? Mm-hmm. Read that for me. I like to hear it. I like to hear it because I'm going to get to do this is what I like.
This is the information we got, the release, is that celebrity chef Nedra Harris, contestant on Gordon Ramsay's TV show, a TV series, Hell's Kitchen, has joined the 1907 restaurant and bar in LJ. Harris, who is a Cordon Bleu graduate and current corporate executive chef at Werner's Prime in San Antonio, she begins work on November the 12th, 2015, in advance of the highly anticipated holiday season. She responds, "I am excited about the potential of the restaurant and feel I will make a terrific impact." Her current position entails traveling to Werner's Texas restaurants and conducting training classes with employees, both front and back of house, creating menus, evaluating staff, creating promotions, and food cost analysis and procurement. Proprietor Wayne Sloop stated, "I am delighted that Nedra has decided to join the 1907. Her professional experience, energy, and personality are just what our restaurants needs, and I can't wait for her to get here."
Okay, well, Monday, and the reason I wanted you to read that, Lonnie, Monday, I am going to be sitting down with her. And I'm going to be doing an interview that we'll bring to you next Tuesday. I'm going to be up at the 19. Kill your mic because we get in. There you go. Thank you. I'm going to be doing an interview with her Monday afternoon. I'm going to be doing an interview that we will air Tuesday. And I really look forward to talking to her. I just look forward to it. I love the ideal of maybe. Well, I would like for her to feed me. I don't know. I'm good with that anytime, okay? And I'm always good with going and talking food. No, and you're not going.
We had a deal.
No, we didn't have a deal.
We had a deal. You would interview her. I would interview the food.
No, okay. Hey, you know what? I should be the man versus food guy. I should do that. I should do the man versus food guy because I tell you what. Anyhow. That is Gilmer County. Don't forget, you can always go to Bobcat Nation, click on that, or you can go to the Chamber of Commerce and see what's going on in your area there. Check out the Chamber of Commerce, for details. I gotta say something, Lonnie. I gotta say something. And this is now. I have been accused. This is BKP. This is every once in a while I've got to come clean and open up. I have been accused of being intense. Okay. Lonnie's he's trying to ignore this whole subject. I've been accused. I believe in a product. I believe in putting out a good product. I believe in working hard. I have these crazy as hell thoughts. I'm sorry. I believe in working hard. I know that. I believe that idle hands are those of the... I believe that if you stop, there's always the next thing. I don't know. I know that. Now, I understand, my family would say to me, Dad, every once in a while somebody takes some time off, or every once in a while somebody does something. But anyhow, that's just me, okay? I understand that things cannot be perfect. I do. But I believe you should strive for perfection on everything you do. You should not stop, okay? I'm not a broadcaster, but what I do is I go home and study all the time, and I watch how other people do things. But anyhow, I'm getting somewhere. I'm a little intense. I'm a little over the top. It has to be right. If it's not right, I'm OCD. And my wife says I'm CDO. I don't even like the letters out of place. But I'm getting somewhere with this, I promise. Anyhow, I don't keep track of the calendar. And I guess next Thursday is Thanksgiving, right, Lonnie? Next Thursday. So my wife calls me yesterday. Now, there's one thing I can't stand. And I'm telling you, folks, this is just who I am. You're finding out who I am. I can't stand when somebody tells me to take a day off. That makes me mad. I know. If somebody says you should take a day off, I appreciate it, but you don't understand. For me, how dare you tell me to take a day off? I'm sorry. I know. I need help, damn it. Oh, excuse me. I need help. Sorry. That's a bad word. I need help. I understand. Anyhow, I can't stand for somebody to tell me to take a day off. I can't stand that. Sorry for the bad word. Apologize. But I can't stand it. All right? I just don't. I'm trying to get past this because I'm trying to get past somebody telling me to take a day off. So yesterday my wife calls me and she says, we have been talking, and they get together here from time to time, okay? When I leave and go on my road trips, they, plural, from time to time say things while I'm out. Your host. They talk about me. And I get this phone call, and I'm not thinking, next week is Thanksgiving. And she says, we've been talking, and we think, you should take, because she knows as soon as it's getting ready to happen. We all agree, and we think you should take next Thursday and Friday off, that you deserve it. Thank you. Can't stand, I understand deserve, but, I get tired. I'm just funny about that. You deserve to take, and that was very kind, and I appreciate it. I really do. But first it hit me. How dare you tell me to take 2 days off? And I went through the roof, and I was like, how dare you to tell me to take 2 days off? I am not taking 2 days off. I went in and around. And then finally she, are you done? Yes, I'm done. Well, you do realize next Thursday's Thanksgiving. I said, oh, okay, now that I think about it. So do you believe that happened, Lonnie? You do. Lonnie's saying, I am staying out of this. I'm not touching it.
I believe they call that the Fifth Amendment.
Yeah. Lonnie's staying out. I am your host, BKV. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, when I get back, and I'm going to do this in a minute, I'm going to kindly change state, go into some state and national with the Tisdale. Now, why is this important? Why is this case important? Because it's important for a couple reasons. Now, I'm going to tell you, the governor of the state of Georgia was present. Your senator, your now Senator David Perdue was present. Your Congressman 9th District, Doug Collins, he was present. Your state school superintendent, now state school superintendent, Mr. Woods, was present. Gary Black, your agriculture, the list goes on. They were there. It was a who's who. It was a real who's who event. They were all there. And the interesting thing that ties into this also is Tony Wooten, the deputy that removed Miss Tisdale, is running for sheriff. And there's about 4 candidates running for sheriff. I'm going to share that with you in Dawson County. Billy Carlisle, the sheriff, is retiring. Nice man. Sheriff is a nice man. I'm not going to be negative to Tony Wooten. I'm going to be up front and tell you I don't know him. But then the witness list had Johnny Burt and it just had some people on there that I don't know them, but I was concerned, like, how were they the witnesses? And then how did they miss some witnesses? Why didn't they, what's a witness? What would you call a witness? Somebody that seen an event, witnessed an event? How would you describe a witness?
I wouldn't even say, you have to seen. I think a witness could be anybody who is privy to the occurrence through any, I guess, of the 5 or whatever senses. Anybody who heard it, anybody who was physically there, anybody who's seen what happened, anybody. You even go as deep. People get character witnesses and things like that, which is
okay. All right, already. My God, I just wanted a quick answer. But you did very good. But somebody that heard it might have seen it, right?
Yeah.
So I would think, if your Attorney General of the state of Georgia, Sam Owens, stood up in front of everybody and said, did you see what just happened here? Did anybody see what happened here other than me, or something like that? Was he not kindly saying, we all just witnessed this? Right? Interesting. But they're not on the list. Not on the list. Interesting. All right, I'm getting to wrap it up. He's got this move over there, like, come on. It's it's a whole thing. If I get one of these, he's like, go to commercial. If I get one of these, he's like, but if I get something else, I'm not telling you what that is. All right, Lonnie, take us to break. I am your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. I am having a great time. I love being here with you. I love our viewers. I love our new viewers. And I loved having coffee with a liberal. That would be me. I'll be back right after these messages.